Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today we'll be playing some Dungeon of the Arbalist. Anyways, let's hop into some games. Since this is my first video on Dungeon of the Arbalist, I'll try and explain some of the gameplay. Pretty much, Dungeon of the Arbalist is a dungeon crawler minigame where you spawn in with a crossbow. You kill mobs to get treasure, which allows you to explore open rooms and unlock upgrades for your crossbow. Eventually, at around wave 12, you fight a boss. Because I was playing with some teammates, my first priority was to open as many doors as possible in order to meet up with them. After opening a couple doors, I stumbled across the most powerful upgrade within this game, the Darkness upgrade. This would allow me to get one of the most powerful crossbows, which does over 100 damage per hit. However, the very next room contained a metal upgrade, which would allow me to upgrade my Darkness crossbow into a uranium crossbow, giving it multi-shot. Then, using the lightning upgrade I had found earlier, I upgraded it into a tier 3 electrostatic crossbow. Then I met up with one of my teammates, Frostwave. Eventually, we also managed to meet up with my second teammate, Frogs Are Gods. However, moments later, Frostwave met his untimely demise. Thankfully, we were able to revive him. Then, I managed to find a key in one of the shops, which would allow me to enter the boss door for much cheaper than it would normally cost. However, this key was very expensive, so I had to farm up some zombies in order to afford it. Eventually, I had enough treasure to buy the key, and we used it to enter the boss door. This time, we ended up having to fight one of the easier bosses, Nixius the Scoundrel. This boss is basically just a skeleton that runs around and tries to whack you. In this second phase, this boss summons some flying skeletons that we have to shoot. Let's hop straight into game 2. The beginning of this game was very similar to the previous. I farmed up some treasure, used it to buy some doors, and then met up with my teammates. However, after finding a fire crossbow in one of the shops for a very cheap price of 105 treasure, I decided to buy it. After finding another fire upgrade, I decided to upgrade to a magma crossbow. After finding one more fire upgrade, I decided to go triple fire and unlock the tier 3 volcanic crossbow. Although this crossbow did a lot less damage than the electrostatic crossbow from last game, it had AoE and had an incredibly fast attack speed, so it was very good for dealing high DPS to bosses and mini-bosses. This game, I ended up finding a boss scroll in one of the shops. This scroll would allow me to see what bosses and mini-bosses were on the map. Because of the boss scroll, I knew that the mini-bosses would be very easy, so I decided to go into the inner ring and look for some. The mini-boss dropped a key, which will allow us to get into the boss door for much cheaper than it normally would. Because of that, we decided to head straight there and fight the boss as soon as possible. This time, the boss was an Elder Guardian who would shoot lasers, cause parts of the map to explode, and summon goons to kill us. After once again making quick work of this boss, we hopped straight into Game 3. This round, I decided to upgrade to an ice crossbow. I was able to very quickly meet up with Frostwave. This was great because if one of us died, we had to be able to connect to respawn each other. Then, I found a treasure zombie in one of the shops. This treasure zombie would allow me to have tons of treasure, which I could use to open doors and buy upgrades to the crossbow. I ended up deciding to upgrade to a snow and then Nevius crossbow for my tier 3 crossbow this game. We decided it would be a good idea to fight a mini-boss. That way we could get some boosters and tons of treasure to open more doors. However, this was very dangerous. Despite that though, we were able to slay it without any casualties. We ended up fighting one more mini-boss, which gave us plenty of treasure to buy extra health potions for the boss fight. Once again, we fought Nixius the Scoundrel, which was a little bit more difficult since we only had 2 people, but was still very easy. Thanks for watching, and if you like my content, make sure to like and subscribe to see more.